probably another minute or two. There we go. Okay, so first off, we've got the first question which we'll have of this phase, namely, do we go down to Blue Boonstar and check the 2 items there, or just go straight over to Link to the Past and collect all of the many more items we can?
Yeah, I believe Total prefers to start in Link to the Past, and it looks like Kamadora does prefer to start Super Metroid. You know, it's kind of a toss up. You know, it's if you do find early progression in Super Metroid, if you go down there first, obviously that's a huge advantage for you. If you find like boots or a glove down there, that's going to be big because anybody that goes to Link to the Past is not going to be going back to the items in Super Metroid for quite a while, basically until they've cleared out everything they can Link to the Past. So you can get an early advantage with it, but the chance of something being down there that is going to be progression for you early on is just so low.
First off, we just have a piece of heart on the Lake High Island, and then we immediately get the saving crit to Link's house, and we're going to be checking out the back of, well, the front of Escape, namely the sewers, after getting 5 missiles in Link's house. Tree pull today is just 5 hours, so not particularly.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to see a couple more tree pulls.
The uncle gives us some pocket change. The guard gets in a little bit of a way there, and we've got another 5.
You got a nice bomb drop from the guard too.
Yeah, Toto's actually not saving critting. Is he going to be checking out the front of Escape?
No, looks like he changed his mind.
Ooh, nice early energy tank. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, early tanks are always really nice to find. You never know exactly when you're going to be going into Super Metroid. One of the first things that people like to do in that, especially if you get early power bombs and Morph Ball, is go through the gauntlet if you do have enough. And without E-tanks, it can be a little scary. So it's always nice to find early. Ooh, and nice bomb drops from the tree pull.
I can never quite remember my tier pulls for trees, but I believe that's a tier 1 pull. Ooh, and 5 rupees from the spider crab. Well, the bush, not the spider crab. That's an old meme, an old meme.
Yeah, I'm not completely. I'm not sure exactly how the tree pulls work. I know killing enemies and getting hit changes what tier you get, but I believe when you first start out in the game, if you don't get touched, it starts at tier 3. At least in this randomizer. But I could also be wrong about that, so...
Lenovis in chat, Kamadora's stream is working, but we have to account a bit for the delay because he forgot to set the delay burst. So we'll be seeing him in action very super missiles at the mushroom spot, and the lumberjack check, I think that was just a piece of art, so nothing particularly useful today. We're not going to be needing Aga 1. Okay, the delay has caught up and Kamadora is back in action. We're going to be seeing the first few items in Blue Boonstar here. And in the Thieves' Hut, we have 100 rupees.
And he already has Morph Ball, so that was either... He might have found that really early on in Link to the Past and just decided to go straight into Super Metroid. It is also possible that it was vanilla, but given that it was about 3.5 minutes in when he was down here, I'm assuming he did some Link to the Past first.
Yeah, I think,
but let's see.
It's probably going to be popping up right here in Kakariko. Which would also mean that Kamadora hasn't checked out the castle series yet. So Total going into Kakariko with plenty of bombs, none of this should pose any problem to him. He's also got enough rupees for the bot defender. There's our first power bomb pack, a second power bomb pack. That makes
always very nice.
Yeah, that makes a Super Metroid dive very appealing right now, if he does indeed find the Morph Ball in here.
An X-ray scope in the back of Blind's house.
Not particularly useful. You can use it to check a couple of items before actually getting them, which saves you a bit of time, namely in Crate's Lair and at Shackle. But if we find a plasma beam later with the charge beam, we can get some microwave strats going, which I always love seeing.
Absolutely, yeah. It also can save time, just in general. It saves time and power bomb usage if we don't find early morph ball bombs, especially in places like Kraid's Lair and the back of the Green Brinstar super missile area or the reserve tank area. It's really nice to just be able to save those power bombs with early morph ball bombs. Ooh, and Total actually just pulled the Various suit from the well here.
Ooh, nice. But we have vanilla bombs today from the Chorizo room, so we're going to have to fight it. Back of a chicken hut, just plus 10 bombs. I'm wondering where Kamadora found that morph ball now, because it's not popping up early in Kakariko, which I would expect.
It may actually be vanilla. He may have done a couple things in Link to the Past and then decided to go straight to Super Metroid, and then found it at the vanilla spot. But I am very curious.
Vanilla bombs and vanilla morph ball is a hell of.
Yeah, he has quite a bit of Super Metroid opened up to him already.
Well, Toto is finalizing his Kakariko village checks. We're going to see if we need boots today for the library. We don't need them for the lumberjack, and it's just 5 missiles. Commodore thinks about trying the usual bomb escape, but he's going to go for the Alcatraz escape instead, and gets it. Nicely done.
Yeah, nothing at the race game, so we're just going to save and quit out of there and probably head down to South Shore, I assume.
Looks to be the play, and Kamadora gets their first E-Tank at the
It's a vanilla E-Tank.
This is looking pretty vanilla so far. I mean, we don't know where that morph ball is yet still. We have to see that on Total's side.
Yeah, it's very possible it could be down here at the dam. This could have been something that Commodore came and did early on, and then just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go check Super Metroid.
It's an unusual play checking out the dam and South Hyrule before Kakariko, but some runners, like if they are really angling for that win and making a gamble to get that advantage, they will do unusual plays to try and get and pay off on those.
Yeah, definitely. Now, if it's not outside the dam here, I just gotta assume it's gonna be a vanilla morph ball. And it looks like the gloves are in the lake here, or in the water here. So, I mean, I don't know where else it could be.
This is looking a little uncomfortably vanilla on Kamadora's side. I think we haven't quite accounted for the whole stream delay yet. I think it looks like he's playing vanilla Super Metroid. Ooh, Total takes a death in the mini model room. Okay, yeah. Apologies for all our commentary on Kammadora's side. He hadn't actually started the race yet. We were counting for the delay just a bit too early.
That makes a whole lot of sense now.
Apologies to our tracker, Sanders. You're going to have to uncheck that morph ball now. Total's giving up a mini model room and is just going to check out the back of escape instead. Speed booster.
Ooh, speed booster's always really nice to find early on.
Yeah, that gets him into Brinstar without the need to get the morph ball to actually use those power bombs. Oh.
Yeah, speed booster is just one of those items that it's possible it's never required to beat the seed. So it is very possible for it to just be locked away in Ganon's Tower or in some one-off location that you're likely never going to check anyway. But finding it early on is very nice. It's always good to have for clearing Super Metroid out.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a bit for Kamadora to catch up. We may either be pausing Total for a very, very long time or running Kamadora in fast forward, perhaps. This is a bit of an unusual scenario, but we'll just have to enjoy Total side of a race. Nothing in the back of Salashashka's hut. And he is going to go back down to... Oh, no, he's not going to go back down to South Hyrule. He's going to go back into Super Metroid. Okay. Certainly appealing now that he has the speed boost and Varia. It gets him into quite a lot of locations, and I think it also gets him into parts of Norfair.
With Speed Booster here, he can get down to the bottom of the Charge Beam room. With Glove, he can sequence break to Death Mountain and get to Norfair, but as far as just Brimstone is concerned, he can only get down to the bottom of Charge Beam.
Okay, so what is the actual item at Terminator today? It's 5 rupees. So first few items in Green Bin start. We don't have the Morph Ball yet, so a couple of stuff is out of reach here. But we do have a Speed Booster, so no Morph Ball necessary for the early Super Swim. We can just run straight. Of course, we can't check the item at the back there because of that lack of Morph Ball, but we can check out the ceiling here. And that's a Quake Medallion. Just a piece of heart up there, and we can't use the power bomb to get into that room yet because we don't have a Morph Ball, but 300 rupees down here. Can't check out the charge location either. It looks like Total is going back up. He's possibly going to save his game and go back to Link to the Past.
Yeah, I think at this point, he really hasn't picked up much of anything useful on his way down here, so it may be better to just reset and go back to the ship. And just know, that whenever he comes back down, that some of these things he's not going to have to look at.
Yeah, this is a bit of a time sink, but maybe he wants to keep those rupees for checking out the Zora area in Link to the Past. He does have those gloves, so perhaps King Zora has a progression item for us. Total needs to open the door again so that he can speed booster through the blocks. I don't believe this is quite enough space to do a short charge in that area. Oh, he's actually going to check out Blue Bin Star before he goes to Link to the Past. Quite reasonable play to make since he's already spent a fair amount of time in Super.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like Kamadora is now starting the seed. So we'll hopefully get this delay stuff figured out for you guys shortly.
Just a reserve tank at the vanilla morph ball spot. Total decides to actually skip it, even though we don't have that much energy in Super Metroid.
Well, and Commodore unfortunately got stuck there a little bit while trying to see what was on the island, so he's just going to have to, maybe come back later and check it, or just that nothing's there and assume that nothing's there.
So Commodore's making a few of the same early game checks that Total did. Tracker has noted down a few of the items that Commodore would have if he made the same route as Total, and I think our Tracker's actually checking his personal stream for that. But again, Commodore forgot to account for the delay, so we're trying to work out things here. And Commodore is making the early play into escape with just one bomb. This I don't think he can actually kill the blue guard in the bottom area with just one bomb. You need two bombs to finish him off. So if he doesn't find a small key in the chest, he's going to be stuck here. And he does find a small key in the chest, but he takes a save and crit anyway.
This is not going to use it. Could have access to one more item there, even without a weapon. But
Turtle's returning to Mini Moldom to exact his revenge against these very elusive work. Takes a couple of falls.
ooh,
Drops a bomb in the pit.
the last bomb, or he gets it with his last bomb. He's going to be hoping to find another bomb here, though, as he will not have one for the Ice Rod Cave. If not, there is there's a rock up by their Ice Rod Cave that has a 50-50 chance of dropping a bomb, but he finds 10 in the last chest anyway, so...
And gets an ice beam
I think
from
it is
the
fine.
field. He actually had out his Quake Medallion after he ran out of bombs. I'm not sure if the Quake Medallion would just outright kill the Moldobs in the cave, but that could save some time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Quake would do that.
Yeah, Quake has a lot of varying effects on enemies in Link to the Past. Sometimes it will outright kill stuff, sometimes it won't affect stuff at all, typically flying creatures like the birds, and sometimes it will turn enemies into weird slime monsters. Gotta be careful with these crabs here. They will take out Link in one hit. They do 2 hearts of damage each, and Total only has 3 hearts. Total actually has enough money for King Zora now, so he may be making the play up there after taking the save and crit there. Just supers in the back of ice. It looks like we're getting some things sorted on Kamadora's end, and Toto's going to be catching up to him very shortly, according to the time I see there on Kamadora's frozen stream. So bear with us, we'll get this fixed very shortly, and we'll have a proper race between the two. Toto is actually going to take those 10 bombs and make the play down into the front of it.
Looks like Commodore has found both the speed booster and the ice beam, and This Quake medallion right there. Oh, and we may actually be back now.
We are back. Welcome back, Speed Gaming. Apologies for the issues there. Discord basically had a bit of a whoopsie and kicked us all out. So during our downtime, we have found so much stuff, namely gravity suits be opening up pretty much all of Super Metroid by itself.
Yeah, most of this game is open at this point. Logically, the only area they can't really get to is Lower Norfair, but even that's bypassable with an easy gravity jump, which I know Total knows how to do. I'm not so sure about Kamadora, but let's see.
Yep, if they find the flute somewhere, they could also get into Lower Norfair that way by taking the right hut in Mid. Ooh, that's a shovel over there. So Toto and Kamadora are pretty much in the same spot right now, and they are both heading over to Wreck Ship because they know that most of Super Metroid is pretty much available.
Yeah, and with Speed Booster this early, there's really no point to put off Wreck Ship until later. Clear out the whole thing now, so why not?
In a lot of the recent races, the Wreck Ship has been pretty much a complete bust as far as item progression goes. But since we've got the items to clear it out logically now, let's just why not? Got to clear it out anyway to at the very least, fan tune. Looks like Toto is going to try and do some gravity jumps to try and get to the out.
Yeah, he sparked a little too low when he was trying to get across the moat, so he's just going to opt to gravity jump up instead.
He almost gets it there, but just misses the wall jump at the top. He gets it this time.
I believe the Desert Torch had a red rupee, which means all the items in Desert have been found, so... But Total did miss the lamp on the Desert Ledge, so we'll see if that comes back to bite him.
The lamp is only really necessary if the fire rod proves to be in a very location blocked by torches. If you can get through the dark rooms without the lamp, you never really need it. So Commodore and Total both making their way to Fantoon. They've got 2 energy tanks and plenty of missiles, plus a gravity suit for extra defenses, so this shouldn't cause too much. And the runners are now having a high five in Fantoon's room. Commodore taking quite a lot of hits there, although they do have the gravity suit for maximum Super Metroid defenses along with their various suits. Just don't have too much energy. You don't want to be hugging Fantoon too. Gets a lot of ordinary missile hits there. I think you're going to need a couple more before you can finish him with a super. You don't want to be hitting Fantoon with a super too early, because that's just going to put him in a enraged. I think one more super should do it at this point for Kamadora. But regular missiles take care of him. So Kamadora gets their first Super Metroid boss down, and Total is going to be very close behind Kamadora. This is our runners are still neck and neck 46 minutes in. This is proving to be quite competitive so far.
Yeah, we'll see if the Wreck Ship holds anything here of importance. I still don't know. Looks like we have gotten a Light World map check. We do have the looks like 5 and 6 crystals in. Oh no, a 5 and 6 crystal in Hera, and the other is Eastern.
So it might be spending a long time looking for that bow at this. We've got Bomber's medallion in the wreck ship. So that's 2 of our 3 medallions done already. If we don't know if Mizumai and Turtle Rock are pendants or crystals yet, because we haven't been in the Darker World yet on Link to the Past, but so far we've got pretty good chances for getting into any of the dungeons that we may want to get in. There is a chance we'll get murdered by the RNG and need Ether Medallion for both of the dungeons.
Yeah, and it's always nice seeing 3 Light World crystals as well. Just increase the chances that, you know, one of the longer dungeons of the Dark World is probably going to be pendant at this point. Maybe Turtle Rock, maybe the Ice Rod would be nice.
Our tracker corrects us. It's Desert Palace that is one of the 5-6 crystals, so we're not going to be needing the bow for Eastern Palace. Well, not unless we want to do a pyramid fairy check early on, but
And we
it's still a regular
find
crystal.
a bottle at this Frick Ship E-Tank location. This is probably normally a spot where finding a bottle here wouldn't be a big deal, and they'd probably just reset to the save point. It looks like that's what Commodore is going to do, but I believe this is our first bottle, so I don't know
Yeah, I'm not
if Sick
sure.
Kid has progression for us. That could be a pretty big mistake there.
The save and crit out of that room doesn't save very much time compared to just running out, so I do not agree with this play at all. We may be needing that bottle for Sick Kid progress. Yeah, as you see now, Total didn't take the save and crit, and he's in the exactly same spot as Kamadora. But with a bottle in hand, this could be actually quite crucial.
Oh, and we are being corrected. Apparently, that is the second bottle, so
Second bottle, okay.
not a huge deal at all. Nice shine spark through the attic by Total, taking out the rest of those enemies.
Yeah, thanks, chat and our tracker for correcting us. We were a bit spaced out of what was happening in the race because we were trying to fix what was happening. Turns out Discord, it was all on Discord's end, and we had to wait for them to spend 20 minutes fixing the server so that we could get back and give you some lovely commentary. So Turtle and Commodore are still pretty much synced together. The only advantage Turtle has at this point is one extra, and that's an energy tank down there, making use of our X-ray scope to check out the item rather than having to make our way over. Just a piece of heart in the top air of outside vector.
So far, really just Bombos was found in the wrecked ship, so for the most part it's looking like a bust unless that Bombos medallion is required. Total trying to set up for a shine spark there across the bowling room. Unfortunately, doesn't get it, but a couple of D boosts do the fine as well.
This isn't an NMG route. They're not trying to get across this spiky area in the default parachute with minimal energy, so it's you can just jump your way across without having too many.
Yeah, with no suits, those spikes do 60 damage each. Do much less with Barrier and Gravity on.
They've got our last few checks coming up in the direction. And like you mentioned, we haven't found too much worth of progression, so we may just be clearing more of Super Metroid for now and leaving Link to the Past until
Yeah, I really only found Bombas, so we'll see what the gravity seal location has, but that has been pretty dry in here. Just a shield on gravity. I assume we'll see our players head down Red Tower and head towards Kraid and maybe even Norfair. Find nothing there.
see a little bit of divergence here. Commodore actually goes back to pick up that energy tank.
Yeah, it's not a terrible idea. It's not it's a pretty quick item to pick up, and you know, having speed boosters this early, it's nice to be able to shine spark around everywhere, and having energy can be a little safer doing that. So
Turtle is going to go down and continue with his Super Metroid checks. First, we're going to get the top of the Red Tower area in Britain. Just some more missiles. Never really want to pass up especially the super missile pickups until you find a charge beam somewhere, because if we never find a charge beam, we're going to need a lot of super missiles and possibly ordinary missiles to take out Mother Brain and other bosses.
yeah, and even finding charge beam without several other beams with it, mainly plasma. It's still really nice to just pick up all the super packs you find. Because even with plasma, it's still faster to kill Ridley with super missiles, and it's going to be pretty even on Mother Brain, whether you do 20 charge shots with full plasma combo, or just 60 super missiles, because the super missiles fire so fast. You can get off between 3 to 4 super missiles per charge beam shot. So without grapple or space jump here, I doubt we'll see either player attempt to get to the X-ray room. But it looks like Total actually is going to do this. This is possible to do. It's a very tricky deboost setup here, but it's looking good so far. Oh, and he just doesn't get the height to get on those spikes. Yeah, this is a really tricky room without space jump or grapple.
He's making another go at it.
That looks good, yeah. And now he's gonna use these waivers to damage himself instead of taking damage from the spikes, just to save a little bit of health. And with Ice Beam, it's not even gonna have to worry about Infinite Bomb jumping up here. It's just gonna use the waiver, or the Frozen waiver, the wall jump off of.
Yeah, the Ice Beam makes this last section quite...
Oh, he's gonna catch it here.
He's having a couple problems there.
Looks like he's got enough room to get up there. Ooh, just barely misses it.
Kamadora, meanwhile, is just forgetting his check and tally, and I didn't see what was in the space room. I was fixated on Total.
Alright. Ooh, should be good if you can get on top of it here. Okay. See what's in here. It's going to be a little scary getting back. I'm not sure exactly how much reserve he has left. And it looks like just a piece of heart at X-ray, so...
Kamadora gets a bit of an advantage here. Now, Tracker hasn't noted anything down on Kamadora's side from Space Room. Our tracker tonight is Sanders, and unlike us, they haven't had Discord issues to put up with. he's still been able to watch the stream and note down anything that ones have gotten. So shout outs to again, we get a quick use of that X-ray there to preview the item, and it's a hard container, which we are going to get. We still need quite a lot of life in Link to the Past still to make things safer. And we will get a look at what was in Space of Room on Total Sun.
Like just a piece of heart. Commodore heading into Kraid's room. We'll see if he can pull off the quick kill here.
Ooh, doesn't quite get it. Those rocks were getting in the way.
Kraid will be standing up today. Total's actually gonna opt to head into Meridia first.
Not a bad choice. We don't have the high jump boots or the space jump to make this particularly easy, or the grapple beam for that matter. So we're going to have to do a bunch of short charges here to check out items such as
Yeah,
what is in
I do like this play.
Ooh, let's see hook shot behind Kraid.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and with the glove and the lamp, Death Mountain is definitely in logic, as well as heading through the portal in Norfair. So he does have access to East Death Mountain right now. And there are several items over there. She missed what was a Crab Supers here, but Total is going to go get them, so may have been
I
something
didn't see
important.
it either. I don't think Toto actually looks
Like,
at just Super Missile.
Super Missile, but again, missiles are really nice to have.
In the Craidy tank spot is more Super Missiles.
I definitely do like this play. Already having speed booster and gravity seed, just heading into Meridia to clear out most of this, I believe. He won't be able to check Shack Tool unless he decides to ice clip towards Spring Ball.
It's a pretty tricky ice clip in that room, much harder than the snare room before. Kamadora, meanwhile, is heading into Upper Norfair. He's going to check out the high jump boots area first. First item in the total room is just a heart container. I didn't quite catch what the second item was. It looks like Toto's going back to do a speed booster. Or not. I guess I just missed it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything of importance up there.
My Everwatch full tracker tells us it was +5 hours.
Ooh, Total is getting awfully low on health here. I notice there's a crab up here that could ruin his day if he decides to start wall jumping up early, so I'm gonna wait for it to come down before he heads up.
Ooh, the bug net's not very useful today because, well, we don't have any swords yet. If we need to do the early Aga play into East Dark World, we don't have any swords to actually reflect the Aga balls back at him. For that matter, we don't have the cape to
No
get
sword,
into
no
the
hammer.
either.
I believe they would need a sword to put that in logic, though, as there's a curtain there that you have to slash open.
Ah, yeah, true. They would need the fighter sword to actually get to Aghanim. Commodore mostly finding E-tanks so far in Norfolk. Just an E-tank in the high jump boots area and an E-tank in the ice beam room. Radio's not revealing too many items yet either.
Our progression may actually be over on Death Mountain. That hook shot from Kraid.
Another reserve tank at the Crumble Tower.
The Commodore is going to come down here and head towards Crocomire.
Always bet on Croc.
And Total is getting really low on health. Gotta be super careful in these rooms. Crabs do a lot of damage.
No need for snail clips in this room. We do have the speed booster.
It looks like he's gonna come over here and farm some health before continuing. Probably a smart move.
He was so low on health, I'm not sure he'd even be able to shine spark to the top of the room with his remaining energy. Meanwhile, Kamadora is facing off against the Croc. He's got plenty of supers for this, so the Croc isn't giving us any issues today. It's kind of the pendant dungeon of Super Metroid, I'd say. You may find progression here, it may be a complete bust, and if it's complete bust, it's totally up. Kamadora actually giving us a look at poor Croc's melting face today. I guess he likes the gory aspects of it. Most runners will usually just pick up the missiles here and wait for Croc to do his thing before walking back over. Meanwhile, Total is at Portoon. Doesn't want to miss too many supers here. Portoon can be quite tricky to hit when he's low on health because he is fast. Oh, gets a kill already. Nicely done. Just 20 rupees above the sand waterfall here. Total having a little problem with the speed booster here. He gets through this. Commodore is going to go for the Shine Spark to check the first item behind Croc. I think he got it. Ooh, we have the mirror behind Crocomire. Not strictly necessary unless we get it into Swamp Palace, but this could be important. Given the crystals so far, 3 crystals in the light worlds, there is a risk that any of our medallion dungeons could be pendants. It could be that Swamp Palaces are pendant too. We don't know yet. We have no Dark World access. Next item behind Crocomire is +5 bombs. And Total is making their way to Dragon. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough missiles to finish off Dragon. He may have to farm a few from the bits of grey goo he spits out. He's going to go for the Shine Spark on Dragon. Meanwhile, Kamadora is checking the last few items behind Crocomire, and there is our first sword. Dragon is pretty low on health for Total. He's got his red stomach. Oh, misses a few missiles there. And he's just going to swoop around a bit, and we're going to need to farm a bit more to finish him. Oh, he gets grabbed by Dragon. He's going to have to quickly try and break free without taking damage, because he's getting a bit low on health. He does break free, but he misses his missiles again. He's going to have to farm a bit more for his Grey Goose. And he gets the kill. Nicely done. So there's not really been much here in terms of progression in Meridia so far for Total, but there's a lot of checks down here, and he's still got quite a few to make still, such as the sand pits and the stuff locked behind Dragon, like the plasma beam. Ooh, that's the Titan Smiths behind Dragon. That is a really good find. This gives Total a quite a good advantage, actually. Because now we have Dark World. Well, we don't have Dark World access yet. We have Moon Pearl, but we can at least get over there for when we do find a Moon Pearl. Kamadora, meanwhile, has made their way over to Bubble Mountain in North. Total is going to take the save up here and or not take the save. No, he's getting an NGV charge first. Now, something that Kamadora could do that Total cannot is they've got the mirror, and with access to Meridia down here with the gravity suit, we can make our way over to the door down here in Meridia and get into the Maya area without the flute. And using that mirror, we can get up to Checkerboard Cave and check what's in there. We could have the Moon Pearl in Checkerboard Cave today, because that is in logic without the Moon Pearl. You can just walk over there as a bunny and pick up that item by mirroring over to the Checkerboard Cave. Looks like Ivan's Discord has died again. Discord is having a lot of issues tonight, so you get to enjoy my voice solo for a bit now. Total's going to replenish his ammo at the bug sand pit here. Commodore gets a piece of heart from the old man. He is making the Death Mountain play right now, taking the doorway from Norfair to get over here. The sword puts him in quite a bit of a better place for Death Mountain now. He's also got the hookshot to get over to the east, and the mirror to get to the top and Tower of Hera. Ooh, I just missed what was that in the Sanctuary Rock, in the Spectacle Rock Cave. I'll just have another quick look. Just a piece of heart on top. Just plus 5 hours. One thing to note about the combo randomizer at the moment is that it's on version 29 of Link to the Past randomizer. So the hint tiles in places like the back of Spectacle Rock, they're not hint tiles. They will just give you meaningless information in the combo randomizer. The ether tablet is just pocket chains, move right along. But often in Link to the Past races now, which is on version 30 of the logic, you will see the runners just head straight into, jump down into the entrance to Spectral Rock and check the hint tile regardless of what item is there without checking, just to see what they get. But that's because it's not implemented in the combo randomizer yet, the runners will still just make that check to see what the item is there instead. Kamadora is heading into Tower of Hera now. Just a compass in the basement and a small key in the back, so we're going to have to check out the firelock side. Kamadora does have that lamp, so they can get into there. Kamadora gets himself on top of the blocks and is just going to have a waited out a bit here. think about where they want to go, what items they have, what's in logic, and do a little bit of route planning here. It's always an appreciated break for the runners. Of course, they may just want to not think about any of that and just grab a drink. You don't get too many chances to do that, especially in the long combo randomizer seeds. So, in the Sandy Falls, we have... I didn't quite see what that first item was. Oh, that's a space jump up there. And another sword. This is actually working out pretty well for turtles. I think Ivan has just returned. Welcome back, Ivan.
I've returned. Hello.
Apologies to Twitch tonight. Discord is having a lot of issues right now with server stability.
So yeah, both of these runners' plays paying off big time for them. It looks like Commodore with the hookshot, the mirror, and a sword himself. Total finding the Titans missed the space jump and a sword.
Turtle is going to be checking out the plasma beam location yet, and we can't check out Shaq 2, luckily. Shaq 2 is a scoundrel and a wretch, and we never want to check him, even if he has a necessary item, because he just wastes so much. But unless he wants to do some ice clip shenanigans, as mentioned earlier, Shaq 2 is not in logic right now. We need the grapple beam for it, otherwise. Kamadora trying to do the bomb jump over to the big chest, and takes a couple of falls here actually. That puts him back up right down to the entrance again.
Yeah, that is a fall you do not want to take in Tower Harry here.
So just at the plasma is a heart piece at the plasma beam. But this Meridian play has worked out pretty well so far for Total, and from here he can just go down to Norfair and pick up the same items behind Crocomire that Kamadora already has, so I would say Total has a bit of an advantage here right now. I don't know when Kamadora will be going back to Super Metroid to pick up the Titan Smiths in...
Ooh, an unfortunate there. Total was getting a little low on health. You can actually charge a short charge on that bottom platform there. You just need to let the pirate hit you first, and then use the iframes you have to start your short charge while running through him. But going into Plasma Beam Room, you either need the speed booster, the screw attack, or the Plasma Beam to be able to effectively clear the room and be able to get out. Otherwise, you won't be able to kill the pirates in there and open the door. So he's gonna have to pick up his space jump on the sword again from down in this pit, but it's not a huge deal, and he knows the plasma beam room has nothing for him now, so he doesn't have to go back there.
Ooh, Kammerdore's getting shoved around by an enraged Moldom here, but gets the kill. He's picked up the Master Sword from somewhere. I missed that. Perhaps our tracker can fill us in, because I completely missed that Master Sword on Kammerdore's side. I think it must have been in the big chest, because he was definitely using Fighter Sword on his way to getting in the big chest.
Yeah, it's definitely harder with just speed booster, but you can do it.
Shanda's telling us the Master Sword was in the small chest before the big chest. Thank you, Shanda's. Gonna have a look in Paradox Cave here on Kammerdore's side, and Toto is either going to check out the other sandy waterfall or just make their way to Norfair, I would guess.
Yeah, Total actually has full access to Super Metroid now with that space jump.
Kamadora finds a fire shield and spacer beam as the first two items in Paradox. Heart container, piece of heart, more power bomb. another heart container, and a green rupee. Not too bad at Paradox Cave overall. Nothing of progression, but good in terms of survivability. Total, meanwhile, is going to go finish off Crate before dipping into Norfair. We'll see if he manages to get a quick kill, or if he decides to pay an additional cost of time and get the DLC for Crate, as some people like to.
Oh, Crate
and we're
is
getting
standing up again. Meanwhile, Commodore heading down Spiral Cave. We'll see what's down here.
He gets the kill pretty quickly afterwards. No problems here. Picks up his hookshot.
And he may choose to just head over to Death Mountain with that. He won't
Yeah,
be able
he
to clear Tower of Hair while he's there, but
there's nothing on the top of Spectacle Rock today, just a vanilla piece of heart. So he can get over to Tower of Hair with just the hookshot by going over to the east, ascending to the top, and then heading back.
well, he doesn't have the hammer yet. And there are hammer pegs in the way of doing that.
Yeah, on the east side of the bridge, very true. Yeah, if he was going from the Dark World, he would be able to get over there without the hammer, but he doesn't have that mirror yet. That's behind Crocomar. And we don't even have Dark World access yet, anyway, without the moon part. Could get some Super Bunny tricks, perhaps, but
Total's really going to have to go back towards Desert Palace at some point to get his mirror, too, since we are fire-locked out of Hera. And Desert Palace is...
Mirror was behind Crocomar.
So we have both 5/6 crystals available to us at this point. So as soon as we get into the Dark World with the Moon Pearl, that Pyramid Fairy is available.
The lamp was on the desert ledge, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Right, yeah. Total hasn't picked us up yet.
Yeah, Total just got the Morphalin and just completely left Desert Palace and went straight to Super Metroid.
Yeah, he won't be able to get to the top of Tower of Hair without the lamp and pick up that Master Sword, but well, actually, he can pick up the Master Sword anyway, because it was there on Death Mountain. Oh no, the first sword was behind Crocomar for Kamadora. So he won't be able to pick up his Tempered Sword from Hera, but he will be able to pick up the Master Sword, and that may well send him back in the direction of Desert.
Yeah, hopefully he decides to head down towards Crocomar here, so he can pick up his mirror and sword, but it looks like he's turning back.
Commodore, meanwhile, is making their own venture over into Meridian. Total is checking out the high jump boots area. For his sake, I hope he heads over to Crocomar again and decides to check it out, because otherwise he's just going to head over to East Death Mountain and find not much over there in terms of...
I mean, he may just decide to go straight down to Lower Norfair from here. He is going to head over to East Death Mountain, as well as do the Old Man and probably check what's on Spectacle Rock and inside. And as we mentioned earlier, it's nice to have the lamp for dark rooms, but it's definitely not absolutely necessary. You see Total holding his sword out here, which makes little sparkles when it's held out like that. So you can kind of gauge where he is in any room, in any dark room. And if you know the dark rooms well enough, it's not too hard to navigate.
Yeah, as long as you remember where the pits are in this room, this is one of the easier dark room checks.
Definitely, yeah. It gets a little more difficult in places like Misery Mire and Palace of Darkness, but a lot of the early game dark rooms aren't too hard.
Yeah, the most notorious ones would be Misery Mire, because getting that Samaya block on the switch is pretty tricky in the darkness when you can't see where you are and where you're going. And Palace of Darkness just has that mean old room with the turtles in it. I have seen both of them done. There's a lot of skilled runners out there who can do both of those areas with very little problems without the.
Yeah, actually, I forget who it was, but a match I was commentating earlier this week or late last week, someone was doing Misery Mire in the dark, or not in the dark, just with the lamp. But the strat they have for putting that chain block onto the switch, if you just pick up the block and walk down to the bottom of the room and toss it up, it throws it the perfect distance to like land on that switch. So that's what I've been using to do that room in the dark at this point.
Chat is having a bit of a discussion about how the person who put these two games together needs to be knighted, and that would be actually one of our runners today, Total. He is the one who has put together Super Metroid and Link to the Past in one single combo randomizer for some excellent races. Now, he doesn't have any insider knowledge on how this particular race is going. The seeds for these races are generated over on the Speed Gaming servers. Total has absolutely no insight onto what he's going to get today. He's going into this as blind as Kamadora.
Yeah, and it's very cool that this is even possible. It's he got kind of lucky. This is always like this is something that people were joking about for a while. Like, oh, like what if we could combine like the past Super Metroid randomizers? That'd be cool. And then Little was like, well, why not? Let's give it a shot. And it's really cool the way this is actually like possible, because the SNES cartridges only have a certain amount of RAM available on them, and A Link to the Past and Super Metroid each use half of the RAM available on the cartridge, but they use completely separate halves. So it was a lot easier to basically stick them together into one ROM than it would have been if they had shared some RAM values.
I believe the only thing that gets affected between the two games when you do some resets, it's that the map progress for Super Metroid suddenly becomes a bit spotty. You may have rooms that you have explored suddenly become unexplored, and isolated pink rooms that you have explored appearing in the middle of nowhere. But that hardly matters for these runners. They know Super Metroid off the top of their heads. They do not need to check the map to know where they're going. I should also mention on other Speed Gaming channels, we have a completely different combo randomizer going, the Zelda 1 and Metroid 1 combo randomizer. I haven't seen too many races of that myself, simply because I've played through Metroid 1 myself. It's a very tough game. And kind of dry on items in general. You basically have to go through much of the game without finding any items, and then you get a huge amount of missiles from killing Kraid and Ridley. And then just a couple more items here and there. But we have got those races going. I believe it's actually its own tournament right now, but I don't know when the next one will be. I think it was on Speed Gaming 4 last night. There should be VODs up for it.
Yeah, it's a very cool thing they did as well with Metroid 1, Zelda 1. That's something that I don't think... I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that. I'd be running around like a chicken with its head cut off in both those games.
Kamadora is getting their tempered sword and space jump from the sandy pit here. And Turtle gets the bad news that there wasn't really much on East F Mountain. Ooh, Commodore is struggling a bit to get this mid-air morph. Okay, he gets it this time. Turtle's back on Death Mountain. He's going to go back into Norfair and hopefully make that play back down to Crocomire to pick up the mirror. He's heading over to Bubble Mountain first. Ooh, Kamadora really wants that temperature, but struggling a bit again with the mid-air morph. Nobody wants to do spin strats on Ganon if he can possibly help it. They've got the silver arrow, so they just want to remove the other part of the equation.
And he does get up there. We see Total heading into Bupple Mountain area here. I imagine he will likely head down into Lower Norfair after this, before heading to Crocomire. Makes the routing a little easier, doing it that way.
We did get a couple of extra checks up here because Commodore didn't have the space jump when they went to this area. Total does, so he finds a single arrow first of all. Another 10 arrows. Ooh, and half magic. Not a bad find.
Yeah, magic's always nice to have.
We'll be able to check over what's at the original speed booster room too. Looks like Commodore is heading in back into Bubble Mountain again with that space jump in tow. So thanks to having the lamp and that mirror, Commodore has a crystal advantage over Total right now. But Total has killed Dragon, and Commodore hasn't gone back there yet. It's not
crazy.
particularly difficult to get back to Dragon from, especially have the flutes later on, because you can just go to the Maya and take the back door to Dragon as such. But it still keeps the runners mostly even for now.
I'm just trying to figure out where this Moon Pearl is going to be, man. At this point, it could even be on the pyramid. We have access to Aghanim's Tower now, but there's just so much of Super Metroid open that it could be anywhere.
As I mentioned earlier when you had cut out, it could be at Checkerball Cave. It's in logic. They can get into
Yeah, it
Maya
could be.
with near Dragon. Checkerball Cave for the mirror is a incredibly awful spot to find it, even in vanilla Link to the Past randomizer. To have it then the combo randomizer is just plain mean.
The mirror was a little bit past Crocomire down in Norfair. Oh, and the Morphball bombs at Wave Beam. Very nice.
Commodore is meanwhile making their way into Lower Norfair.
It looks like they are going to opt to just head left, since we already have Space Jump. Gamble that, the item that you're required to have Space Jump for is going to be something, rather than going to do the Green Gate glitch to get back to the GT's area.
It's the route logic expects you to take anyway.
Yeah.
Commodore's right behind, Total is right behind Commodore. They are also going into Lower North. No fancy tricks required this time. They've got the gravity suit and space jump.
This could could be really unfortunate for Total here if Morph Ball does, or if Moon Pearl does end up being in the Checkerboard Cave. Do you find the flippers, the top left item in GT's room? So it is
nice fight to get.
probably going to be required to head that way.
We still don't know yet if we'll actually need the flippers as such, because we don't know where the pendants are in the dark.
Yeah.
Could be that both Swan Palace and Ice Palace are both pendants, and we need neither the mirror or the flippers. That said, if the Ice Palace is a crystal, it's not really difficult to get over there at all with some fake flipper tricks in the dark. And you don't need the flippers for anything else other than swimming through Swan Palace. Oh, Turtle's going for the gamble. He is... Oh, first we get a check. Pendants at Skull Woods and Peace Town, and green pendant at Swamp.
Yeah, so we may not need those flippers, but that something is in Swamp Palace.
He is not going over to Checkerboard Cave because he doesn't have that mirror yet. He needs to get down to Crocomar.
Imagine we will see a Checkerboard Cave here as well. He may actually just finish Desert as well, since he's already here. Total is going to see those flippers up there. We'll see if he decides to just head straight back around before heading through Lower Norfair.
So do we have a Moon Pearl in Checkerboard Cave today? It's an ice rod. And
wow.
Total Rock is a crystal. Oh.
We do need that ice rod.
Okay, so Crocomar is necessary tonight.
Total doing a
Always
little
been
bit more farming here. Came in with just a few super short to be able to kill GT, so just gotta farm some drops. It looks like Commodore is going to decide to finish up Desert while he's here. Really no reason not to.
Don't have the bow for the super quick Lambo's kill with the silver arrows, but the tempered sword makes pretty quick work with them. You can also go for ice rod strats if you're feeling good with your timing.
I'm a little surprised Total decided not to go check the desert ledge while he was in the mire area. It looks like he is going to go head straight back around to get his flippers.
Well, he can't check the desert ledge, but in my area, he doesn't have the mirror.
That is a good point, yeah. He does not have the mirror. Good point. Man, that is just really unfortunate.
Just one routing divergence here. Going down to Bet on Croc is putting Total a little behind now. Slow 56k in chat. Aside from the Super Bunny trick to open up chests in particular the Super Bunny Cave in East F Mountain, there's not much you can do as a bunny in the Dark World. All you can do is use the mirror. So if you don't have the Moon Pearl, you can make a trip into the Dark World to get up to the Tower of Hera, like you would in the vanilla game. You can also use that to check out Checkerboard Cave, because you can get into the Maya area using the Fruit and Gloves, or in the Combo Randomizer today, using the back way near in Lower Norfair, and then just walking your way over there as a bunny and using the mirror to get back into the light world.
I believe you can use the Super Bunny glitch to check out the Mire Shed, the left side Mire Shed. I think I've seen Andy do that before. It's definitely not in logic, but...
It's been a very, very long time since I've seen Super Bunny glitch used for anything at all. And I've actually never seen it for the named Super Bunny. where you would typically use it, which is a cave at the top of Death Mountain. I think in very old versions of the Link to the Past randomizer logic, the Super Bunny trick was actually required for that cave, which is why I got the name in the first place.
Looks like both our players are going to be farming a decent amount of super missiles here. Still with no charge beam, Ridley is going to take 30 super missiles to kill, and this is the fastest, easiest way to farm super missiles in Lower Norfair, so they're going to make sure they get plenty before heading on.
Turtle has to make their way up through the worst room in the game. It's actually cool. With Kamadora right behind Turtle. And runners have pretty much been neck and neck for most of his race. It's just a couple of checks are separating the two right now. Turtle needs to get over to the desert ledge to pick up the lamp, and they also need to get behind Crocomire to pick up the mirror.
Yeah, it's really most of what's separating them right now, and I believe Kamadora also did not end up going to kill Dragon while they were in Meridia. They are missing those Titan's mitts, but go get them shortly after Lower Norfair, probably. Commodore's got to be careful here. Total actually found the morph ball bombs and was able to only bomb the left side here. But the power bomb is going to take out this entire row, and most of those blocks are crumble blocks. So if he's not careful, he's going to fall all the way through here. And have to go all the way back around through Pillar Room again. And, oh no, he does end up falling. It's really unfortunate. He's going to have to go all the way around here, and these enemies do a lot of damage. Be pretty careful in this room. You do have to kill everything in here for this door to open. He's getting a little low on health. He has some reserves, I'm not sure how much, but he's got to be really careful here.
Turtle, meanwhile, is making her way down to Ridley.
Yeah, this is really dangerous for both players now. They're both very low on health. Total should, without barring some disaster at the Gold Pirates here, he should get a decent amount of health refill off of them. They drop a bunch of stuff. Commodore is going to head into Link to the Past. And he may just be saving Lower Norfair for later, being that low on health.
Turtle is low on energy and health here. He's going to have to do quite a lot of farming before heading into Ridley. Gets those bugs nice and synced.
Looks like Commodore is going to... Oh, he might actually be going to the flipper checks now. Looks like he is. Probably going to be heading to Hobo and then up to Zora's area.
Oh, Turtle gets a bit desynced with bugs there by missing them.
Yeah, Kaku. Commodore fell after Mickey Mouse because he had to powerbomb all the blocks and missed a space jump. So he fell through and had to kill everything in that room and ended up with maybe like 60, 70 health left for the rest of Lower Norfair and decided, you know, rather than possibly die down here, I'll just go back to Link to the Past and see what I can find there. We'll see if that gains total any advantage based on what Lord Norfair has. We are still looking for that Moon Pearl.
There is a chance it could be at King Zora himself. King Zora has been in Logic for a long, long time.
Yep. Oh, but it's in the waterfall cave, so man. So flippers are actually required here.
Commodore gives that chest a few rage slashes for good measure.
So you can fake flipper and get into the waterfall cave that way, but without the Moon Pearl, you can't actually walk in there.
Toto is actually using a lot of power bombs against Ridley. You don't tend to see this too often.
Yeah, no, it's pretty rare. I think with the amount of supers he has, he wants to make sure that he wants to save a couple for the Lower Norfair escape, maybe. Power bombs do 200 damage to Ridley when they hit, and they have a possibility to hit twice, based on where the epicenter is and where Ridley is when it explodes. So I mean, they're not terrible damage against Ridley, but he probably just wants to save at least a couple supers.
King Zora today has a gold sword.
Oh my.
Nothing useful for progression, but probably worth it for the 500 rupees at least, especially if you're not using it for anything else.
And the fire rod on the man. This area is chock full of items today.
Toto's going back to power bombs and Ridley. He is pretty close to death.
It looks like Ridley's dead here. Moving around like that in the air. Yeah, he's gonna pick him up here. Ridley's a really dumb boss. It's always been incredibly stupid. Ridley has like 18,000 health, and once you deplete him of that 18,000 health, you can either get picked up by Ridley and he will explode instantly, or you can just let him fly around in the air until he randomly explodes. It's on a random timer once you hit that 18,000 health mark.
The best way to kill Ridley is just to have a absolute ton of super missiles. Super missiles normally do 300 damage. They actually do 600 damage to Ridley, so it's by far the fastest way of killing him. And Kamadora's making the Aggro 1 play.
Yeah, without killing Dragon, he doesn't have those Titans miss, so he's not aware that he technically does have Darkhold access here without going to Aghanim.
This could give Toto a bit of an opportunity to catch up here. He needs to get down to Kokomaya ASAP.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure he'll head down to Crocomire after escaping Lower Norfair here.
That will also make going back into Maya to check the checkerboard cave and then clear out this palace and get that lamp on the ledge for to push him over there with any luck. I should also mention that the Cane of Burner was found in Ridley's E-Tank room. So that puts Spike Cave in logic once they find the hammer.
Absolutely, yeah. Total is a little low on health here in the Lower Norfair escape. I want to be pretty careful getting out of here. These key hunters do 50 damage a hit, even with both suits. The thing I like about Super Metroid is when you get into the late game, it really doesn't matter what kind of gear you have. You know, everything still does a bunch of damage to you. Whereas Link to the Past, you know, you can have red mail, you can have all the safeties and up to 20 hearts and basically breeze through Ganon's tower. But running through Lower Norfair on not too much health, you still got to be really, really careful.
I think a Ganon hug still does 2 hearts of damage if you're in the red mail, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But speaking of late game and early game, Kamadora is just tearing through this tower with a gold sword. Just take a fall at the last one before Aghanim for some reason. But today we can actually take a guess at how many blue balls Aghanim is going to cast. Unofficial game, there's no leaderboard for this, but I reckon because Kamadora is doing this totally unrequired, for anything at all, because he doesn't have those Titan Smiths behind Dragon. We're going to get a mean amount of blue balls. I reckon 5.
I'm gonna go with 2.
Grapple Beam in the Ridley escape area.
Apple Beam, yeah. So now Shack Tool is open, and that is I believe that fully opens up Super Metroid for the last possible location.
That's one blue ball. This one's guaranteed to be a regular projectile, so that's 3 hits on the Ganem so far. 2 blue balls.
Come on, Aghanim. Oh,
3
Aghanim.
blue balls.
What are you doing?
If I could do a vampire accent, I'd be imitating one right about now.
It looks like we're just getting 3 today. Total coming down here to farm up some missiles and supers. He will likely be doing the gate glitch through this blue gate here and heading towards Crocomire this way.
Check correcting me, apparently I missed a blue ball. 4 blue balls today.
Ooh, a nice gate glitch on the first try. And just a red rupee on the pyramid. Commodore gets his map check in. Looks like he's going to head towards Catfish.
And Turtle has made her way to our favorite Crocomire. Always bet on Croc. If I had some more Twitch emotes, I'd be spamming the relevant Croc emotes in Twitch chat right now.
He's the cutest boss in the video game. All we do is burn him in acid.
Toto decides to spare us the acid melting today, unlike Kamadora.
Alright, so let's see what's a Catfish here. Just a bomb capacity upgrade. Total is going to find his mirror, and most likely head down and get his sword as well.
Gonna get some first mirror checks in now. We don't have the boots yet, so we can't see what's in a king's tomb, but the graveyard ledge is usually pretty inconvenient to check at the best of times. Just an energy tank back there.
When Total sees that Master Sword, he's going to head back up and get it.
And Kamatora's just going to start off with doing most of the Dark Death World... Dark Death World? Dark World checks. We haven't found a cape yet, but we're going to see if we need it today. It's just a riot shield. I doubt they'll be returning for that. If we need something from Laser Bridge, Toto has that kind of cane of burner to put it in logic. So the riot shield is the mirror shield is strictly unnecessary today. The fire shield is pretty good for going into Thieves Town, though. It blocks the fireballs from blind and makes it a little bit easier. Turtles making their way out of the crocodile. We'll see where they decide to take that mirror first of all. He's probably going to go clear out Tower of Hair first and get that first crystal, and then probably should head over to... Well, no, he can't clear it out because he needs the lamp from the Desert Ledge to clear out Tower of Hair.
Either the lamp or the fire rod from Zora's area. Ooh, and Commodore gets a charge beam from the chess game in Village of Outcasts. Very nice. Always nice to have.
Yeah, gives the chest a single raised slash for good measure. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a time sink on Turtle's side because he's not going to have that... We brought out the cane for a second there, but he doesn't have the hammer to get into the spike cave yet. But this is going to waste a bit of time for Turtle coming up here.
Ooh, and you can check the ether tablet now as well. I'm not sure if Commodore did this. I didn't catch that.
He checked the... One of the runners checked the tablet earlier with the book and it was just couch cash. Yeah, 5 rupees from this guy. I think I got my terminology wrong there. Couch cash is 20 rupees, pocket change is 5 rupees. It's an important distinction. The turtle's going to find out they're locked right here. And he saves some crits.
So we'll see where he decides to head. I imagine, I mean, he might just head straight to Zora's area. And if he gets that fire rod, he may think that that's the logical fire source he needs.
I mean, we'll get him through either desert or
Yeah.
Tower of Hera, so...
He's heading west here. See where he plans on going.
Sick kid check, perhaps?
Yeah, probably sick kid.
Doesn't have the moon power yet, so he's not going through to the dark world from here.
Sick kid has just got missiles for us today.
Kamadora is actually going for the usual route for the big chest in Skull routes rather than taking the bomb jump that most runners tend to prefer these days. Doesn't spend too much extra time getting to the back here using this route, but if you're not too sure about the bomb jump, it'll save you some time, really, so... We're getting a dig spot check.
Another bottle. Well, the good news is Total is starting to run out of locations, so he either is going to find his fire rod or his lamp eventually soon here. It looks like he may be heading towards Hobo now. Probably good news for him to get his fire rod. He will have to... I guess he'll get his moon pearl here too. He does have the flippers.
So if he's making these checks, the lack of a lamp isn't going to set him back too far.
Yeah.
He does so far have a big Super Metroid boss advantage over Kamadora. And he has those Titan Smiths, which is a particularly big boon, so it's hard to say who's in the lead right now.
Yeah, again, Commodore
Ooh, we're
skipping
gonna
out
get-
on... Oh yeah, pedestal check.
What have we got today? Could be the bow. Big Bada Boom. What is that?
I don't know.
I've
And
never seen that
Commodore
text
may
before.
also be confused as well, but I don't think it's anything important.
Super missiles, perhaps?
It might be power bombs.
It can't be bombers. We already got bombers.
I think it's power bombs. Because super missiles, that's not the text for super missiles. Yeah, that's got to be power bombs.
Yeah, chat fillings in. It has to be power bombs.
Fiddle does find his Moon Pearl, will shortly have his Fire Rod and his Tempered Sword.
I was hoping he'd throw a bottle into the fairy and see what we get. A lot of the races I've been commentating lately have had blue potion refills from the fountain fairy there. Sees that fire rod on the Zora ledge is going to be very pleased. It's also going to pick up their tempered sword from the Zora here.
So it looks like Commodore not finding too much of anything important in Skull Woods. Might be headed over to Thieves Town, or just doing the rest of the Dolgebot stuff first.
I'm surprised he didn't kill Mothula in the process whilst he was over there. I mean, it is a pendant, so...
I
Did
assume
you get both items out of Skull Woods?
I would assume so, since he did check the pedestal. He knows he doesn't need that pendant, and if he already got both items, there's really no real reason to kill Mothula at that point. So,
Yeah,
I'd have to assume that he's already got both items out of it.
So Turtle gets his fur rod. We're going to see where he takes that first.
I think he's just gonna head straight to Village of Outcasts. His shiny new Moon Pearl.
So aside from the bow and the hammer, we don't have much left for Link to the Past Go mode.
Yeah, we are still gonna need that Kinesamaria.
Oh yeah, true.
And possibly Ether. We have not seen the Turtle Rock medallion required yet, but
Wave
yes,
Beam in K45.
Maybe it's always nice to have. Just a little extra damage.
Total gets a quick map check in and is just deciding to forego Skull Woods completely. That's going to work for him. It will save him some time.
Yeah, he's not gonna know that pedestal is not part of the seed, but I don't think you ever really play for pedestal being in the seed anyway, so should be just fine. He does pick up his charge beam.
Kamadora chose to skip out Beavstown. Total might take a dip into there instead of Skull Woods and see what items we can get in there. There's quite a lot more items to be found in Beavstown than Skull Woods, and Beavstown Pendant is never that pleasant because you often find worthy items in there. You don't need a lot to logically clear Beavstown.
Yeah, they do not have that hammer, so something is in the big chest in there. They won't be able to get that, but there is a
First,
decent
we have
chance.
we have a hype cave check. 5 missiles. 10 arrows, 20 rupees, power bombs, 5 missiles. 1 out of 10 hype.
And
Like,
not
it's
too
only
great.
worth it for the power bombs, and we already got plenty of power bombs. That is definitely 1 out of 10 hype.
You do need hammer for Palace of Darkness. There is hammer pegs under in the basement, and you're not going to kill the little turtles in the turtle party room without it.
Kamadora having that crystal advantage is going to be checking the pyramid very immediately. He's actually taking long roads around. If he's got the mirror and he has cleared Aga 1 rather pointlessly, so where is he going?
I'm not sure. Probably heading back towards the bridge now, realizing that he's already cleared Aga.
Yeah, he's taking the proper routes to the when you've cleared Aga 1 and got the mirror.
Oh yeah, he's really gonna have to go this way, huh? I mean, he could go because he doesn't have the hammer, so he couldn't actually go through those hammer pegs. He could have gone all the way around, but there's really no reason to do that.
Our Toto is dragging around a frog instead of a big pink bomb. He's got the mirror. I don't think you've seen the powder yet anyway, so you can't check out Magic Bat. No Samaya or Mushroom for the fake powder either. Ooh, that's the
Boots.
boots in Pyramid Fairy. Swordsmiths today are male smiths.
Total's gonna take Gary's lunchbox on the Southern Dark World tour.
Commodore immediately taking those boots over to the King's Tomb.
Yeah, we'll likely see King's Team and Bachrox here. Oh, and again, without those Titans mitts, it's gotta go all the way around here.
I've seen a couple of seeds where the Titan Spits were in Graveyard Ledge, and the runners didn't actually know how to get round to the Graveyard Ledge without the mitts, and were running around in circles for a long time before they eventually worked out they had to go up there. But Kamadora does remember. Kamadora's doing a lot of rage slashes today at whatever he finds or doesn't find. And so far the boots haven't found anything for him.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the seed's gone, gotta assume that both runners at this point think that they're behind the other. If I was either of them, I wouldn't really feel comfortable with the way the seed's been and where I'm at.
Riddle's routing is probably going to work out for him. He's going to get his 50 rupees from a lunchbox and may make his way over to Desert Palace now to pick up that lamp. Very well.
Yeah.
He does have the fur rod, so it's not that big a deal now, the lamp.
Yeah, he is. He does have full access to Desert Palace even without the lamp at this point, so he might as well just clear while he's here. And I'm assuming he will see that lamp on the ledge. Might kick himself a little bit, but you know, that wasn't that big of a deal in the long run. Really just kept him from doing Hera early.
Ooh, no, he's
Looks
heading
like
back into
not.
Dark World.
Oh yeah, he has done Hype Cave, so he's probably gonna go want to check out all that.
It loses a little bit of time here. He can just bring the chest outside Hyper Cave and leave it there and then pick it up when you exit again. We don't need the boots in this race today unless the Ganon's Tower big key ends up on the torch, but that's still going to give Commodore a bit of a speed advantage here. But Toto may decide to go clear Desert and Tower of Hera, then go to the Pyramid Fair immediately, and that would work pretty well for him. But it looks like Commodore is going to be polishing off their Super Metroid checks now.
It looks like probably heading back down into Lower Norfair with full health now. Don't believe, aside from the Cane of Burna, I don't believe we really found much use in Lower Norfair. He has to kill Ridley anyway, but it's a bunch of checks that he doesn't really need to make, but will eventually end up making anyway.
Total's weaving around a bit. I think he's going to go to Ice Palace.
He may actually go to Ice here, yeah, even though it is a pendant. Won't be able to clear without the hammer. Won't be able to get some of the items without the hammer either, but he may...
Oh, no, he's skipping by. Ice Palace is a crystal.
Yeah, he's actually...
Ice Palace is the crystal today, to correct you.
Oh, it is. You're right. I'm so used to being a pendant. My mistake. Yeah, he's actually going to get the pod here, though.
I think it was a race
yesterday. I never thought of going this way.
I think it was a race yesterday for Link to Past Randomizer where the Ice Palace was a crystal, the hammer was found down there, and double dip was necessary.
Oh, that's
no, actually, terrible. I think it was the it was I think it was the scene that Kachi was commentating, and the boots were in Ice Palace, and the hammer was on the library ledge, and nobody went to Ice Palace until about 2 hours and a half in.
Oh my god, that's so rough. Yeah, I've seen hammer in Ice Palace before, but man, that's something else. Total coming up here to check out Catfish. I don't believe either of them got any bottles with potions. It might be smart if he's going to head into pod to pick up a potion here on the way back, so he can potion glitch the right side of pod if necessary, and end up finding most, if not all, the items in pod before having to leave.
I mean, he's not going to find a bow over on that bow lock side with a potion glitch, but bow could be in any of the other chests in pod.
Absolutely.
Could also end up with a vanilla hammer. There's a lot of nasty items you can find in pods that will really make you regret your time spent not checking it.
And the hammer could even be on the right side, being bow locked, and bow being somewhere else. So I think it's still a good idea to bring a potion with you just in case. But at this point, we are missing a couple of pretty key items to get into go mode, and we do have several one-off locations available to us now with the Total Finding Grapple Beam has access to Shack Tool, and I believe they have access to the first item chest at Swamp as well. Don't have the hammer to get much farther into Swamp, but that bomb wall is open to them with the mirror and the flippers.
I mean, finding a necessary progress item there in the second chest of Swamp is like finding a vanilla Swamp Palace more key in Key Sanity. It's always very nasty. Kamadora are taking quite a lot of hits from these, I don't think they're called side hoppers like the ones in Brinstar. I think they're called these Gigas or something weird like that. Super Metroid has a lot of weird names, but he's probably going to want to farm some health before actually taking on Ridley.
Yeah, I have no idea what those are called. I don't know what half the stuff in Super Metroid's called. I call them all the same thing anyway. They're all side hoppers, they're all gamers.
And forget what these space pirates are called. Just call them the Kung Fu pirates.
I think these are metal pirates. That's at least what I've always called them, but I'm not sure what their actual names are.
Okay, so Total's back on Death Mountain. We're probably going to go up to Tower of Hair now and finish that off with the Mirror and Fire Rod. Something we haven't seen on Kamadora's side yet is anything in Dark Death Mountain. There could be items lurking over there. He could be spending a long time looking for his Titan Smiths before he finds them behind Dragon.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why Commodore decided to leave Meridia so early. We'll have to ask him afterwards, but yeah, he basically had full access to Meridia when he was there. Besides Shackduel.
Chat giving us a few names for those pirates. Golden Pirates, Metal Pirates, Ninja Pirates, Tang Grey Pirates.
I like them all.
Just don't call them Elite Pirates. Those are the big fat guys in Metroid Prime. Kamadora takes that really without too much problem. He had a lot more supers going into this. And all they're going to find down there is that Cane of Burner, as I remember correctly.
Yep.
Oh.
Total will end up getting his gold sword parry here. And may choose to go to desert after this. Does have desert open to him. It is the 5/6 crystal, so may be thinking he wants to get into the Pyramid Fairy if possible too.
It all depends on when Kamadora decides to actually go and finish off Dragon. Given he's back in Super Metroid now, there's a good chance he will be making that play.
Yeah. And actually, with Commodore, he did the waterway early on when they first got gravity and speed. I know we haven't seen Shackduel yet, and I don't believe either player has done the shaft on the right side of the climb Metroid as well. So I think those may be the only two items in Super Metroid we don't know about yet.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing the shaft supers. Kamadora taking quite a few hits here trying to get out of the spike room before Ridley. And Total's having their fight against Mordor with the gold sword. It's just 2 slashes and down he goes. Kamadora did this much earlier with only the fighter sword, so had to put up with, well, master sword, so they had to put up with an angry Mordor. And got knocked down a bit, I think. No, they got knocked down earlier and fell to the bottom floor. So Turtle saves a little bit of time in here. And he's going to make his way over to East F Mountain now and get all those checks done. There wasn't anything in Paradox Cave, but we haven't seen the dark side yet, so could be finding some juicy stuff there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Total does have Death Mountain access now, and we will finally probably see what the Total Rock Medallion requirement is. See if they actually need to find that Ether Medallion or not.
He's also got the hookshot and the mirror to check out all of what may be at Hookshot Cave. So this routing is working out pretty well for him, actually. The only thing that's putting him back right now is that desert and the boots from Pyramid Bay.
Yeah, I believe we did see that there is just a missile pack on the island in the sky, but Hookshot Cave definitely could have some good stuff for us. And he may, and actually, never mind. Can't do Spike Cave without the hammer. Never mind.
Nothing in Super Bunny Cave today. Commodore gets a much needed energy refill. They were down to 1 energy tank left. Alright, are we going to need Ether Medallion today? Nope, it's quick.
Alright, so no Ether Medallion required. We have our medallions needed. So really, between the two players, all we are missing is the hammer, the bow, and the red cane. And it's starting to look like they they could all be in pretty bad spots.
There's the cape. We don't need that today because we already saw what's on the cape ledge.
And to note, both players did.
Ooh,
Ooh,
red
the
cave.
red
Ooh,
cane in
ooh,
Hookshot
ooh.
Cave. Very nice find.
Turtle is going to resist the urge to go straight into Turtle Rock with that red cane, which is good for him because the ice rod isn't in there. Actually, where was the ice rod? I completely forgot.
Oh, and you know what? That's going to give Total complete access to Misery Mire, I believe. So he's probably going to head into Lower Norfair to Misery Mire area and clear out Mire and Desert at the same time.
Sanders, our tracker, excellent job tonight, by the way. Sanders reminds us that ice rod was in the checkerboard cave.
Yeah, so he'll get
This
his
is
ice
going
rod
to work out
area
very
too.
well when he goes over to that place.
Yeah, it's going to be really good for Total.
And of course, he can't enter Turtle Rock because he doesn't have a hammer for the pegs to activate the portal. Thank you, Duke Firebird.
Yeah, to note, both players did decide to skip out on Thieves Town as well. So there are 4 items in there that we have no idea what they are.
I think it was the first combo randomizer seed I commentated. Both runners skipped to Thieves Town until about 3 hours in, and Thieves Town had an item in the front, an item in the back. One runner went in and got that front item, and then skipped out and missed the back item, and that resulted in a 4-hour race for both of the runners.
Oof.
Don't skip your Thieves Town.
Commodore here doing his normal Norfair cleanup, or Upper Norfolk cleanup rather. Picks up his more fall bombs.
Turtle is heading straight back into Lower Norfair to get over to Mizumar.
Yeah, this is just the play he needs to make at this point. He's gonna get his lamp, his ice rod, clear out 2 dungeons, possibly get more progression in Misery Mire. This is gonna be really good for him.
Kamadora gets a half magic from Barbel Mountain, which was I think the only item over here.
I'm not actually sure. I know at least one of our players checked Sahasrala's hut, but I don't remember if either player went into Eastern Palace.
Neither of them have been in Eastern Palace yet. I think it was Kamadora that went into the back of Salashashka's hut and got nothing worth there.
Man.
Total's going straight over to Checkerboard Cave and finding that ice rod. They're going to be very pleased with themselves for getting this.
Okay, Shandis is telling us that Commodore did go into Eastern Palace. That may have been during the delay period where we missed on his stream. So
right, yeah, those first 15 minutes were a complete mystery on Commodore's side.
Yeah.
Apologies for all the issues we had earlier. Firstly, we had a issue for stream delay, and then Discord decides to die on us, so we went without commentary for about 20 minutes.
Sorry, we had accidental spoiler chat commentary. It was great.
You're revealing the items 10 seconds before they appear. I don't think it matters too much unless we're doing the Ganon's turn big key, to be fair. Ooh, Commodore gets stuck against that last frog thing in the frog highway. Those have a proper name. I don't care.
See,
They're called frogs.
those I know. Those are B-toms.
Commodore's having a bit of think in the save room. They're probably stuck on where they need to go. We know they need to go and beat Dragon to get those Titan Smiths in the right behind Dragon. Kamadora did a partial clear of Meridia earlier and got a few items, including a sword and the space jump, but they did not clear out Dragon yet. I'm wondering if they have mismarked having cleared Dragon. He's having a good long think here, and this is giving Turtle a bit more time to clear out Desert Palace and catch up with Kamadora.
I believe
Turtle is...
Commodore is actually in the hospital, playing from the hospital right now. So he may be dealing with whatever doctor nurse is in this room right now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's I believe he is playing from in the hospital.
Oh my, I hope he's okay. Do you know what he's in hospital for? This is
I'm not sure.
amazing that he's actually... This is amazing that he's actually dedicating himself to playing a race from hospital. So Turtle's going into land molars with the fire rod, which makes for a extremely quick kill. Quickest would be to have the bow to make use of a silver house, but the fire rod does a decent enough job by itself. I think you just need 2 hits per Lambo to kill them.
Yeah, definitely. And I was in just a casual race with Commodore the other day, and I believe I think it was him that mentioned that his doctor is mentioned he's supposed to take a 5-minute break every once in a while. So this may just be that as well.
Okay, but this is unfortunate for him. Give some love to Commodore in chat for his dedication to playing a combo randomizer from the hospital. Oh, it looks like he's forfeited. Oh no, yeah, he must have had some kind of problem in the hospital if he's forfeiting at this stage.
Yeah, it looks like
it's unfortunate.
It is apparently an issue with his hand, so he did actually forfeit the race. It's very unfortunate for him. I definitely hope he is doing all right.
Yeah, give some love to Kamadora in the chat. He's put up a great race so far, and getting those boosts from the Pyramid Fair could still put him ahead if he was able to see through this seed. So we're not going to be able to find out if Toto would make the Pyramid Fair pay and get the boots for that advantage as he makes his way into Misery Mire. But give our runners today a follow on Twitch. Kamadora and Toto, they've both put a very good race together so far. For now we're just going to be seeing Toto clear this alone. He does have to finish the race to get that to win chalked up, so we're still going to get to enjoy what he does.
Absolutely, yeah. This is still very much so anybody's race at this point. So definitely give our runners a follow. Both did a great job today.
Ooh, we've got the big key over there. If we weren't going mode, this would be the Godmar right now. But we're going to check out the rest of the items in here because there's quite a few stuff we need for the rest of Link to the Past progression, namely the bow and the hammer. Toto has finished all the Super Metroid bosses. He can go clear Muff Brain whenever he wants, which will probably be right after Ganon. And once he finds that bow and the hammer, he's just going to be blitzing through the rest of the crystal dungeons. Just depends on whether there might be an item lurking in one of our pendant dungeons, particularly Thieves Town. There's our Ether Medallion. So if we needed that today, there's it.
Yeah, so Total just looking for this big key now. He's already found the Ether Medallion and a piece of heart, so there are no items left in Misery Mire. And we already know that there are no items left in Desert Palace, and the boots in the Pyramid Fairy Cave. So it's looking like our hammer and bow are going to be in some pretty nasty locations here.
Well, I was just looking there for a single second there. Total down to half a heart. Oh, and run straight into Stalfos and dies.
Yeah, that Stalfos
Not gonna
just
set it
past the
back too
doorway.
long.
I'll have to do room 2 again here, but not a big deal.
For those of you just joining us, Kamadora unfortunately has had to forfeit. He's actually been putting a commendable effort into streaming from hospital and racing from hospital, but he's got a problem with his hand, and because of general hospital stuff, he cannot continue with the race, unfortunately. So he has had to forfeit. I don't believe he's going to be having an interview with us either because of, again, hospital stuff. He needs to rest, so give him some. Send him some love in chat for Kamadora. He's given us a great 2 hours of racing so far, until now. So Turtle's still pretty low on health, but he's got Blue Mail Gold Sword. He doesn't quite have a bow for the quickest possible Vitreous kill. He does have a cape if he wants to use cape strats. Pretty good idea on half magic, but thanks to that lamp on Desert Lair.
He's got to be careful using cape strats, man. That's something happened the other day. I'm not sure exactly what causes it, but if you're like cape and dashing through Vitreous and you bonk on that wall, and don't cancel your dash on accident, Link can get stuck in this weird animation where he's just like constantly like shifting down to the right, and it doesn't like you just can't do anything with Link. You can't control him or anything until you get hit by an eyeball.
Right.
It's very strange, but
Yeah. I think I saw that clip actually. I think that
yeah,
clip featured you.
yeah.
Total farming a few of these falling slimes for hearts, just in case. And there is an anti-fairy over here, which he cannot powder, so never mind. Ooh, he's going for that cape.
Okay, he's gonna take it safe and just slash them all. Probably smarter. Probably what I should have done, but dashing through them was very fun. So oh yeah, Total also doesn't have the boots. That's a good point. Finishes up Misery Mario, will likely head back into desert here in a minute.
He could have mirrored from the Missy Maya area and finished off desert. He decided not to. Oh, he's taking the back of escape. I think only Kamadora did this earlier. No, Total did it as well, because there's the blown up wall. Yeah, he's going to check out the dark cross room in the back of escape instead, which we haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah, neither player ever did Dark Cross Room.
I think there's an item here because we found the man at the compass earlier. And we've got
Oh my god,
bow.
it's the bow! Holy cow.
Well, that was an exceedingly good
Wow.
gamble.
That's been available for so long.
Okay, so he's pretty much just going to go over to Eastern Palace and blitz for that now. Probably see if we can find a hammer in Palace of Darkness too. There's a lot of items in Palace of Darkness and most of them aren't hammer locked. Only if there's something on Helmasaur would we need the hammer for that.
All we need is that hammer. I think at this point, I might even, it might be a good idea just to get into the Dark World and head over here, through the water, and just mirror outside of Palace of Darkness, and then do Eastern. You know, just in case the hammer's in here, you won't have to go warp back to the Dark World after this. Or even just check pod afterwards, hoping the hammer's in there.
It's kind of an inconvenient trek for him because he doesn't have the boots to quickly get over from south of the bomb shop.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
get a triple spawn in the Stalfos room in Eastern Palace, I think you have to hug the top wall so that two of the Stalfos spawn off screen and therefore don't spawn at all. And that way you only get two spawning to the south of Blink, and you can just kill those with pots or whatever you choose. Ooh, there's a mushroom in the big chest.
Just nice. So he could do fake powder here. That wouldn't be a terrible idea if he decides to start doing some overworld stuff. Definitely want to do fake powder before turning in the mushroom at this point without the powder in hand.
Just some supers in the vanilla big key chest. Ooh, and we get to do the Elmus Knights of the Silver Arrows today, thanks to that bow. So,
oh yeah, be a quick one.
super early silvers, and could have been a pretty early bow too if Uranus had checked out Dark Cross earlier.
You know, I'm feeling the hammers and thieves down today. Where am I? I'm at home. Where are you? Alright, so where's Total gonna head now? Into Sanctuary, probably heading towards the Village of Outcasts, might be looking to clear Skullwoods and heading to Thieves Town.
It was only Kamadora that checked into Skullwoods earlier. He found both items and decided to skip them off there, so
Yeah,
Total's probably going to do the...
He should know that it's not a pedestal seed, since the hammer is required for Skullwoods and... Or not Skullwoods, just Swamp Palace.
And so the hammer can't be... The hammer can't be on the pedestal because Swamp Palace is a pendant today.
Yeah. Looks like he is heading to Thieves Town. I'm feeling like the hammer's here. A good feeling about the hammer.
I think it's going to be buried in Ice Palace. It's popped up far too many times there lately.
Big key and one item so far.
Well, one of these three items is always going to be the big key. Sometimes you find a small key here too, but you usually want it to be somewhere in the back so you can just think about going straight to the big chest from there.
Yeah, you really want to find it.
Depends really.
Sorry, go ahead.
Depends really if you want to double dip Thieves Town or not, and I never recommend double dipping Thieves Town. It's aside from the hammer for the big chest, all of it is in logic since you have Dark World access.
Yeah, you really want to find as few dungeon items in the front of here as possible.
Oh, there's a
It
high
looks
jump
like we
boost.
have 3 of our items so far, so it's a really good chance that the big chest has nothing in it. Good news for total.
High jump boot's totally useless today because we got space jump in the sandy pit in Murdia.
Yeah,
But I think
having
it keeps our track a bit.
having
I think it keeps
having all the
sorry,
bosses done already. Having all the bosses done already, high jumps, it's not really going to help out too much. It'll be a little nice for the escape in Entorian, but yeah, I'd say it would have been nice to have earlier. But at this point, it's not going to make a huge difference.
It's nice for our tracker. He gets to click more buttons and light up the whole of our top row. Don't think we're going to be filling in all of that second row, though. Something out of screw attack, spring ball, and flute is going to get left behind forever. Flute at Shaktal, perhaps?
Oh man, I hope not. Not that they need it, but having anything of any kind of importance on Shactyl just feels so bad.
Commodore's in Twitch chat right now. Do you want to give us a bit of a text interview, Commodore? Well, if you are listening in, Commodore, I can tell you that the main thing separating you and Total was basically the Titansmiths behind Dragon. You made the play down to Crocomire quite a bit earlier than Total did and got the lamp from Desert Ledge where previously Total had skipped the lamp. So that actually gave you quite a lot of advantages, including the boots from the Pyramid Fairy, which Total hasn't done yet. Total wisely decides to get out the cane. I think we have the bots back.
I believe so. So hey, welcome back. Total has the hammer, and he's finished Palace of Darkness.
He's in go mode.
It's in go mode. Woo!
Oh god, that echo.
Yeah, so you just gotta quickly finish up Ice Palace here. Won't take long, and then head up towards Total Rock. Finish Total Rock and Ganon's Tower, and then go kill Mother Brick.
So, chat, have you been enjoying Smash Bros. Ultimate today? Because if you have, you're probably contributing to the Discord issues right now. Total did subvert my expectations of the hammer being a nice palace. It was actually over in the Palace of Darkness, right next to the spring ball.
Gotta set up a bomb jump here. Looks pretty good. And yeah, it's a first try. Nice job.
Unfortunately for Tracker Sanders, we're probably not going to find the flutes now, so he's not going to get a full tracker to light up tonight. I don't think I have any other questions for you, Sanders. It's mostly the only thing that separated you and Total was just basically not quite finishing Mudia, going down to Dragon, beating Dragon, finding the Mitz right behind him, and then basically getting the best possible route, really. I think the only thing that could actually throw you off other than that would be the bow in Dark Crossroom, which Total decides to make a gamble towards, and it paid off magnificently for him. Yeah, Commodore, I'm sure that if it weren't for you pretty much ducking out this week, unfortunately for your hand, and I'm so sorry to hear that, but Total would certainly be up for a rematch if it was possible. But yeah, I'll have to, if you do a casual race, I will have to check that out myself.
Absolutely. Total dropping down here to Cold Stare. Be able to take care of him pretty easily with the gold sword. Shouldn't have too much of an issue. He's a little low on health. Does have a red potion if things get a little dicey, but he should be just fine.
The puffs get a bit loose from him. He's got red man gold sword, so won't be causing any issues either way. Just a bit of a slightly slow.
Does a full heart, and the ice balls do a half heart. So red mail doing work here.
Balthasar in chat, yes, Total does have to finish the siege to get his dot done and a official win on SRL. So Total's on his way up to Turtle Rock. He's got nothing that would block him at all logically from completing all of it, including Laser Bridge. He has got the Cane of Burner for that, also the Cape. So he is in complete and go. Well, there's a chance. If the gangster big key is on the torch, he's going to have to go and track down those boots. And we know they're on the pyramid phase, so it shouldn't hold him back too much.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that'd be one of the first things he went back for if key does end up being there.
Thank you very much, Kamadora, for the race today. It was great, and I'm so sorry you had to duck out. Looking forward to your next race at any rate, but get some rest. Get some rest for this week, and see you next week, hopefully.
Oh, an early big key. Fine. That will allow him to steal the poke key and skip the middle big key chest.
Turtle's going over to the right side to check for a small key anyway. So he does claim a small key over there to just to make sure he doesn't have to check everything he possibly can to gamble on the key.
Put that block a little too far away from the edge there. Accidentally pushed it in along with himself, but just already damaged. No big deal.
The first time I went through Turtle Rock as a kid, playing Vanilla Link to the Past, I had no idea what to do at those platforms. I had cleared all the dungeons before Turtle Rock. I just sat there spamming items for ages on that question mark, thinking something's got to work. I used the Cane of Samaya. I missed with Cane of Samaya, and I thought, no, this doesn't work. And then went to all the other items I had and got really, really stuck. I think it was about a week later that I came back to the game and started trying everything again at that platform, and then found, oh, the cane does work. Wow. He's just stealing that key and going and skipping the chest. He needs to, if he is going to skip the big key chest, he is going to kill these pokies and then go to the right rather than to the south. I have seen a few runners make that mistake. They decide they're going to skip the big key chest, but they go to the south anyway and take the long way around. But Total does remember.
He is taking a gamble here, skipping this big key chest. It could have the small key he needs. If both the big key chest and the vanilla, if both the big key chest and the vanilla, or the big chest and the vanilla big key chest have a small key, he is going to have to come back for that big chest eventually. We'll have to see what's on Laser Bridge.
Down to 2 hearts going to the laser bridge. He's got to be careful with how he's going to dodge these lasers. He could just pull out the cane of burner or the cape and move past them, or he could try for the riskier dodging strats. He doesn't have the boot, so he's just going to have to walk past lasers if he chooses to do that. He is wisely going to check the safety entrance here in case he takes a step. So if he takes a step, he will just respawn at the entrance here.
So it's not a bad move with 2 hearts left. Obviously, he does have a potion and a way to escape past lasers, but oh, and there's the key he needs. So he's just gonna leave.
So as soon as Turtle beats Trinex, he's going to be very quickly on his way to Ganon's Tower. So for chat, as soon as Turtle beats Trinex, there is a game we are going to play in the channel. It is the Ganon's Tower Big Key Guessing Game. If you're a subscriber or a supporter of Speed Gaming to any of the Speed Gaming channels, which means you may have donated 250 bits across any of the channels, you can enter our Big Key Guessing Game. Once we start the game, simply enter a number between 1 and 22 in chat, and if you guess correctly, or if you are the closest guess to where the Big Key is, you get a spot on our extremely prestigious leaderboard. We will be starting the Big Key game as soon as Total has beaten Trinex and picked up that crystal, so get your guesses in quickly once we start it. Ooh, he takes a hit.
Down to 1 heart here. Gotta be really careful with this head swiping away. Probably gonna play this pretty safe. There's a nice setup to get a double spin on Trinex here. But yeah, with the gold sword, I'm not gonna need a whole lot of extra slashes. Skipping that double spin, so he's just gonna play it safe and make sure he doesn't die to Trinex. He does find the magic powder as a reward.
Okay, we are starting the game, so get your guesses in chat quickly. For Madagascar Dave in chat, and for anybody else joining us, Kamadora unfortunately has had to forfeit because he's such an addict to combo randomizer, and to be honest, aren't we all? But he's been trying his best to play the combo, playing a tournament from hospital. Unfortunately, because of doctor's orders and all the other things that doctors like, he has had to stop playing, and as a result, has to forfeit the stream. I mean, forfeit the race. Turtle did offer to reschedule the race for another time, but Commodore's going to be out for a week, so he's just playing forfeit, and Turtle's going to see out this seed through to the very end. Okay, so first item in Ganon's Tower, an energy tank. Small key.
And it looks like he's not going to choose to go full right side. Instead, opt left side here. Torch just has some bombs.
So no boots necessary today. The boots were on the Pyramid Fair. We could get them as soon as we beat Desert Palace and Tower of Hair, which Commodore did fairly early on, and Turtle left until a bit later. Number 4, missiles. Number 5, 10 arrows. Number 6, small key. Number 7, small key. Takes a fall. We're going to have to try again, using the door to reset the pot there so he can hookshot over, because he doesn't have the boots, so he cannot use bonk strats to get his way over these pits. Number 8, piece of heart. Just takes a hit from the fire bar to get past. Number 9, missiles.
Let's see what Rando Room has.
So called because you only see it in Randomizer. It's completely useless in the vanilla game. Number 10, energy tank, 11 super missiles, 12 heart container, 13 piece of heart.
And it's looking like right side may have been the play.
Again, no boots, so we just go for the very slightly slower method of taking the 2 teleporters there rather than bonking our way over the teleporter. And, Turtle's actually going for the unorthodox method, although I think it's the developer, one of the developer intended methods of using the Ether medallion to light up the bridge here and see your way across. As a kid, I did the exact same thing. I never knew you could light the torch that's just here to see the bridge. If Turtle's if Turtle's watching this later, perhaps he'll hear this and realize, yeah, if you light up that torch there with a fire rod, you can see the bridge. Oh, I lost track of the count, but Bob's chest, that was the powder. He immediately uses it to get the anti-fairy there.
I believe that's 14. I want to say 14.
Yeah, 14 in chat. Thank you, Shanders. A very reliable tracker who has coped with all of our Discord issues tonight and kept up with what the runners have been doing.
Ooh, looks like it is on right side.
15 to 17 didn't have it. Total struggling a little bit with his throwing the block onto the switch here.
So he's gonna check the tile room, yeah.
Gutsy play.
Nice little trick in here. If you use the cape and then grab the wall, it actually doesn't deplete your magic, and you can just sit here and let all the tiles run out.
Just some missiles. Ooh, gets grabbed by the wall must and gets sent back a couple of rooms.
Yeah, unfortunate there. He's a little low on magic. I believe there's a full magic refill in this room, though. In a second pot.
Well, he almost grabbed it his first time, but the wall master prevented him.
The timing on this is a little tighter with no boots. He's gonna get in just fine.
19 is the map. 20 is our big key today.
20.
I always guess 19, thinking it's going to be behind Ice Armors, except today. And I pay for it dearly. Oh, our tracker has rigged the game. He is our closest answer tonight with 14. Shout out to Sanders for doing excellent tracking today, but also boo to Sanders for clearly rigging the big key game.
Really wanted to win, man.
And whilst we're doing shoutouts, as we see Turtle make his way up Canister, give both of our runners a follow if you can. They have put on an excellent race today. It's very unfortunate that Kamadora had to forfeit, and that was strictly because he's been putting an effort to playing the randomizer tournament from hospital, and the doctors told him, no, you can't play randomizer anymore. You've got to rest your hand for a week. So he's had to duck out, unfortunately. If it wasn't for the forfeit, I honestly cannot tell you who could have won today. Both our runners made slightly different routes and found critical items in different locations. Total put off put off behind Crocomile for a while and didn't find the mirror. He also didn't claim the lamp from the desert ledge, which would have allowed him to make a clear few more dungeons, but he got the Titan Smiths from behind Dragon, and Kamadora. He made a trip into Meridia, but he did not find the Titan Smiths because he didn't go all the way to Dragon and beat him. So that was the main thing separating these two runners. But in terms of dungeons and bosses cleared, they were pretty much neck and neck all the way. And we saw both of them making a lot of simultaneous checks, both at the same time in the same places.
Oh, and Lenmol is just getting away from him a little bit there.
Yeah, he powdered the anti-fay in the previous room, which changes their pattern a little bit because the pattern of the land murders changes based on the time you enter that room. And if you're stopping for a second to powder the anti-fay, it delays the pattern a little bit and makes it different. One more check that Kamadora did that Total hasn't done is that the boots were found on the pyramid bay. We didn't need boots for anything else, but those boots were pretty early on in logic, and that could have given Kamadora the advantage here.
Yeah, that would have been very nice to have.
Yeah, if Kamadora and Total were theoretically heading up to Ganistar at the same time, Kamadora would have the advantage of those boots to run through everything just a bit quicker. Ooh, immediate fall from Moldorm too.
An unfortunate poke by Moldorm's head there, sent him right down the hole.
2 slashes is enough to take care of Moldom 2. Just like Moldom 1, actually. Turtle beat Moldom 1 with the gold sword in hand. When Kamadora did it, he only had the fighter's sword.
Just makes up those stairs. That room can get a little out of hand when you don't have the boots. If he had gotten hit there by any of those mini Helmosaurs and got knocked away from those stairs, that could have turned into a disaster.
Ooh, misses the projectiles there. And we get a blue ball. Another blue ball. This fight's getting a little out of hand for Turtle. Single there. Another blue ball just to prevent the double again. There's our double. And down goes Aga 2. So what kind of anecdote does Ganon have for us today? Cheese facts, perhaps? I haven't seen cheese facts in a long time. It's cheese facts!
Ooh, cheese facts. Gold Sword, this fight's pretty simple. It's just 6 slashes in each phase to get him to the next one. So we should get an easy one-on-one cycle here.
Four Silvers will take care of Ganon in this phase.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh!
Really unfortunate there.
Takes the fall. He actually doesn't make a stop to the top room and pick up some fairs because he's low on health now.
I believe he still has a red potion. Could use that if he wants to.
I think he should. One Ganon hug will kill him if he takes a hug. Ganon's a friendly guy. He likes to give all our runners hugs. And we get the cheese facts again. Oh, there we go. One Ganon hug takes care of Turtle.
More cheese facts. £57 of cheese, that's too much.
Takes a couple hits from the fire bat. One more hug would finish him off. That's an empty bottle. He tries to use it, but there's a red potion.
Use that red potion.
Did you find the Silver Hours and Brinstar? Yes, we did. Ooh, gets knocked a bit away from Ganon there, so we can't try and fit in the triple. Does get the torch glitch though. That's
Nice
a double,
dragon
and
fight,
down
though.
goes Ganon.
So we can do a single G in the chat for total for completing one of the games.
If he makes it across the bridge, which he does. Single G's for total. No more, no less, just 1 G.
Now he just resets back to the ship and heads down to Torian to take out Mother Brain.
So whilst we do have the charge beam, we never did find that plasma, so we're not quite going into the Muff Brain fights as well equipped as we possibly could be. But we have got plenty of super missiles as well, so I doubt the brain is going to give us too much problems. I guess plasma would have been somewhere in Swamp Palace. Shanders, our track in chat, you can beat the bosses in either order. You can do Mother Brain first, and when you actually get out of the turn and escape, you still have the Hyper Beam, but the planet stops exploding. So you can take that Hyper Beam to pretty much anywhere you want in the rest of Criteria. I think as soon as you change games, or as soon as you change zones in Super Metroid, you will lose that Hyper Beam. But if you beat Mother Brain first, you can just dip into Link to the Past and beat Ganon there. Then once you go into Triforce Room, you get the usual Triforce scene and the Link to the Past credits instead. People generally prefer to do Mother Brain last, simply because when you hard reset the game, you're immediately at Samus's ship in Criteria. You can get a full refill of your energy and missiles, and it's really quick to get down to Turian and Mother Brain from there.
I don't think I've ever finished Super Metroid first. That's like just walking around with Hyper Beam, but
I've seen it done a few times. I've seen a couple of runners basically get all the items they need to clear Super Metroid in Super Metroid, more or less 100% clear it, and then because they are in Super Metroid and have literally done everything else, they just go off and finish them off the brain.
right.
But it's pretty rare. So Toto has not removed his gravity or failure suit. He's probably going to go for the baby skip here. He's got the Rave Beam for it. Gets grabbed. He's taking the time to remove his suits now, which would probably actually be slower than just letting the baby drain him all the way. I haven't tried it myself. I've not seen it done.
Yeah, you definitely do take more damage from the baby Metroid with the suit off, and if he wants to set up for a stand-up glitch, it's a lot easier to do with suit off as well. So he may just be setting up for that.
He might want to go back into the previous room and get an energy refill.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what his plan is here. I am very curious and scared. That is not enough health. And oh, you know what? He might Crystal Flash here. He may do a Crystal Flash. That's all I can think of. He's got to take a little more damage though. Oh. Well, I think his plan was to Crystal Flash. Unfortunately, did not work out the way he wanted to.
He gets enough a try at a baby skip at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly hit him there, because he had 80 health left, and the acid does not do that much damage that fast. I'm very curious as to what actually did all the damage that quick to him. Yeah, he had various it up, but it shouldn't have done 80 instantly. Like he lost health faster than you would with the power suit and the gauntlet there.
Okay, second try baby skip. Let's go. Gets grabbed again. He takes the quite wise energy refill this time. Gets the sleep tone skip done. And he's going to go for charged spacer shots. This is going to be a bit slower than it would be with plasma, but we'll get the job done.
Kind of surprised he's sticking to just charge shots here and not dipping into some of his ammo.
We have got the, I
Now
think
he
they're
does decide
called
to.
ketchup beams now. Like, there's this whole thing about Mother Brain's bar and grill, and I've never quite understood it myself. Something about onion rings and ketchup. Just one hit from the legs.
Ooh.
Yep, that's.
Ooh, those
Yeah.
those rings were a little scary. Yeah, so the way he's setting up stand up, he needed 7 E-tanks without various suit. So Mother Brain does 6 full E-tanks of damage with no various suit on. If you're under 100 health after the first rainbow beam, Samus gets stuck crouching, and you're unable to stand up. But if you're over 100 health, you can stand up and move around. And Mother Brain essentially tries to get you under 100 health to like get you stuck onto the ground. But if you run into her and put yourself below 100 health, she will start the rainbow beam sequence again. And if you are not on the ground when the game tries to stick you to the ground like permanently during this cutscene, you get what's called the stand-up glitch. And as you can see, Total's running around with the Metroid attached to him and actually doing damage to Phase 3 of Mother Brain before the fight actually starts with Hyper Beam. And this is extremely useful if you do have the full plasma beam combo, as it does 900 damage per charge shot. He's doing 300 damage right now per charge shot, which, I mean, it's good damage to get in, but again, it's a third of what the plasma combo does.
What is going on with Samus' sprite there?
Well, yeah, that's what stand-up does sometimes. It's a little glitchy at times, and you can actually basically crash the game doing this as well. If you're holding a charge or attempting to hold a charge while the game is giving you Hyper Beam, you will freeze your game for usually at least 10 minutes. I've had it be more. I've had it not unfreeze. So it is kind of dangerous to do, but it's definitely a good time save if you are competent doing it.
We're getting some requests in chat to save the animals. Total knows at this point that Kamadora has forfeited, and maybe he will do it.
Nah,
Save the
there's no
animals,
way.
save
There's
Kamadora's
no
hand.
way. No way. He's not gonna do it. I believe in Total. Don't let me down, Total.
He's not going for it.
That's right. That's right. Let him burn.
I've seen some animals being saved. I've seen some animals being saved by first place finishers, in fact. In this very tournament.
It's just wrong. Total does
I
in
won't
fact
spoil.
finish.
I won't spoil who did that, but perhaps you might out for yourself.
Does in fact finish with an SRL time of 3:46.44, and we'll take the win in this race. So GG to Total, GG also to Kamadora. It was a fantastic race between the both of them, and just really unfortunate about the forfeit.
GG. So we've already got Turtle in here for our interview. Hey Turtle, how was that race?
Oh, well, that was a interesting seed. What is it with these races and the seeds I get? The one we did, me and Ivan, that was a good one as well.
Yeah, that was something else too. This is an interesting seed though.
It was very like early full Super Metroid access.
Yeah,
I
and
figured I might as well just clear it.
pretty early on, you actually went to the Morph Ball first in Desert Palace, and then just save and quit out as soon as you got the Morph Ball. And Kamadora actually got the Morph Ball and then continued through Desert and picked up the lamp on the ledge.
Yeah, the reason was I had no more bombs, so I had no way to continue on like killing the
Right, yeah.
enemies in that room. So I figured I might as well just save and quit and go
Yeah.
to Super Metroid and go back later. And hopefully, I hope that I would get there either when I was visiting Meyer or at some other convenient time.
Yeah, and that actually allowed him to finish Tower of Hera and Desert pretty early on.
Yeah.
And actually get the boots out of the Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, I see. That's pretty nice. I was worried about the Pyramid Fairy being Hammer, because I would have had to clear Aghanim, I think, to be able to do that.
Right, yeah.
There's a way I know to bring the bomb somehow there anyway, but I don't know the trick. But yeah. Otherwise, it was pretty straightforward after. Just looking for Hammer, I guess, was the biggest deal, and I just ended up going into Pod and hoping for the best, because there's the most items at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never ideal when the item you need is in the dungeon you need to clear it.
No, so but at some point it's worth going there. It's just to progress anyway. I think it's really unfortunate that the race couldn't go on with Kamadora. It's
Yeah,
too
definitely.
bad there. But I think it would have been a good race. I haven't looked, but how in terms of like racing, how close were we when?
You guys were still pretty close. You may have just pulled ahead a little bit right around the time that he forfeit. He actually went into Meridia about halfway and then dipped out before going to Dragon and getting his Titan's Mitts.
And missed out on Titan's Mitts, yeah.
But he actually went to Crocomire pretty early on into Norfair and picked up his mirror and one of the swords as well. So you both kind of
that's when I found the mirror. I realized, oh, I should have gone here before Low Norfair.
So you guys both like kind of went on diverging paths, but also both found good progression items on each path. So it was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, and I found the flippers in the only spot that Space Jump locked. Then I was happy I went to Meridia first and picked up Space Jump.
Yeah, and we also saw you do it's a very, very cool setup for getting across the extra room without Space Jump or Grapple.
Oh yeah, and then I screwed up in the end of it. But,
yeah, I think the hard part there is just getting through the start of that room to set up that D-boost is actually a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, I was going for the swag and hoping that I'd make it all the way across. Can't always. I figured I had Varia suit, which protects so much against spikes, so dying there wasn't really going to be an issue.
Right.
So I figured might as well go for it since it's pretty safe. And it's a nice check to do when you're going down there anyway, because at that point I had everything I needed in Super Metroid, so I wanted to make sure I didn't have to backtrack in Super Metroid at any point. Since I could clear everything, so.
Yeah, no, but I mean, getting both suits really early on, speed booster early on, and it's just like a dream Super Metroid seed.
Definitely, and I think it makes sense to play it through as when you're in Super Metroid, because just switching games is a huge time sink. I guess it's worth, for example, I'd say when you're getting to Norfair and go right into Link to the Past and check all the items you can. For example, if you have access to most of Death Mountain, just from the item density point of view. And it might help you find something that speeds up the rest of Super Metroid as well.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense.
But yeah, it's really hard routing these. It's always you figure out when you've done it that okay, I should have done it this completely different way, and then would have been better. But it's easy to say that when you're done. And it was good. It was good fun, and I'm looking forward to the next match here.
So yeah, thank you for the excellent race today. Being that you are basically the developer of the combo randomizer, is there any tidbits about what you could give us about what may be coming up in the randomizer in the future after the tournament?
Oh, well, there's a lot of things going on. We're working on getting in the latest Link to the Past changes, but that's a huge project because there's a lot of changes there. So that's one thing, and I'm slowly working on adding in key sanity as well, and more game modes, like just different kinds of fun things. So look forward to that. I can't tell you when that's gonna be released though, but I have a lot of time to work on it, at least during this like Christmas period. So hopefully I can make it work. We'll see.
Yes, sounds very cool.
Yeah. We've had quite a lot of 4-hour races already. You managed to get a 3-hour 46 timer, but key sanity in the combo randomizer, that would be super interesting to see, but also super lengthy.
Oh, it's gonna
Yeah.
be so long.
Yeah, that's probably a like 5 hour plus. I don't know, because we're looking at implementing like key doors and keys for Super Metroid as
Yeah,
well.
that's gonna make I think the Super Metroid logic a lot more interesting.
Yep. When you can like block off more parts of Super Metroid with more
Yeah.
items, that makes the routing and the everything a lot more interesting. So
Definitely.
it should be fun. So,
Looking forward to it. I think that about covers most of it for today. Again, thank you for the race. Coming up tomorrow, we have got a lot of races happening on Saturday. Starting off at 10:30 with HK112 versus Breakdown. Later on in the day, also at 10:30 p.m., we've got my co-commentator here, Ivan, versus his old Team Farts teammate from the 2v2 tournament, ALG Andy. So that is going to be shaping up to be an excellent race. I am looking forward to that myself.
Oh, he's gonna squash me.
Nah, he just got to make the checks that he think he doesn't. Pay him back for the losing to Team Wildcard in the 2v2. So yes, thank you for joining us on the Race Today Twitch chat. I am Revolving Ocelot. I've had some excellent commentary here by Ivan as well. See you in the next race.